Can anyone say if the screen is visible?
Ma'am, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, ma'am, start from now, ma'am.
Screen is visible, sir? Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, sir. Thank you. Okay, good evening, students. Let's see today's topic on transmission control protocol. That is TCP. Okay. So in the last session, we have seen HTTP protocol, that is hypertext transfer protocol, which is a protocol available in the application layer. So the next layer in TCP/IP model is transport layer. So in the transport layer, we can have two main protocols. One is TCP, the other one is UDP. So these are the two main protocols that we present at the transport layer of the OSM model. Okay. So the main objective of today's session is to make you know about the transmission control protocol, that is TCP, which is present in the transport layer. And the outcome of the session is that the students may be able to understand the concepts behind the TCP protocol. Okay. So the first objective is to introduce TCP as a protocol that provides reliable stream delivery service. Okay. And the next objective is to define some of the features of TCP and compare them with the UDP features. Okay. The next is to define the format of a TCP segment and what are the fields involved in the TCP segment. The next objective is to show how the TCP provides a connection-oriented service and show the segments exchanged during the connection establishment phase and the connection termination phases. Okay. Next thing is to discuss the state transition diagram for the TCP protocol and discuss some scenarios. And to introduce the windows in TCP that are used for flow control and error control. So flow control, error control, or the services provided by the TCP protocol. Okay. And next thing to discuss how the TCP implements the flow control and in which the receive window controls the size of the send window. Okay. And to discuss the error control and the finite state mission. FSM means the finite state mission that is used by the TCP during the transmission phase. Okay. And the next thing is how the TCP controls the congestion in the network using different strategies. So congestion control is also one of the main functionality of TCP. So we'll see that also. And to list and explain the purpose of each timer in the TCP. So next to discuss the options in TCP and show how TCP can provide a selective acknowledgement using the SAC option, that is selective acknowledgement option. Okay. And to give a layout and a simplified pseudocode for the TCP packages. Okay. So these are the objectives that we are going to discuss today's session. So the outline of the session is going to be, we'll see first about this, what are all the services provided by the TCP protocol and what are the features of TCP protocol, what is meant by a segment and how does the connection is established with the TCP protocol. Next thing we'll be dealing with the state transition diagram and the flow of packets, how the packet flows between the client side and the server side. Okay. And the next thing is what is the windows in TCP. Next, flow control, error control, congestion control. So these are all the functionalities or the features, services provided by the TCP. We will be seeing one by one and all about TCP timers and options. Okay. So in this picture we can see that so TCP is a layer 4 in the sense that it's a transport layer protocol, and in the transport layer we can see two main protocols, that is, as I said, TCP and UDP. See? So here the upper layer of transport is the session. So from the session it is getting into the transport layer. So the transport layer will be transmitting the data to the lower layer, that is, the data is encapsulated with the TCP header. Okay. So if you are using UDP protocol, then UDP header will be added with the along with the data. So this concept is encapsulation. Okay, then it will be sent on to the next lower level, that is network layer. Okay, the TCP stands for Transmission Control Protocol, and UDP means User Datagram Protocol. So here you can see when a computer wants to transmit or wants to communicate with another computer, so the communication between the two computers, that should be in a proper manner, in a good and reliable manner. So reliable in the sense that the data transmission is carried out in a proper way, or it can guarantee, the TCP can guarantee that the data is received correctly at the destination point. Okay. So if suppose, for example, if the sender, or suppose if you want to view a web page, or the other thing is if you want to download a file from the server, or if you want to look into an email, if this is the case, you would expect to view that web page in order to, without any missing of data. Okay. Or else if you are going for downloading a file, it is expected to have the entire file to be downloaded without any loss of data or without any missing of data. So if it occurs, then it won't be, if some data is missing in downloading, then it won't be useful for you. Okay. So TCP is guaranteed that all the data is received correctly.